The hells we have lived through and live through still have sharpened our senses and toughened our will.
Celebrated poet and activist Maya Angelou may have been speaking about herself on that day in 1995. Born Marguerite Annie Johnson in St. Louis, Missouri, April 4th, 1928, the hells she lived through began at the age of 7, when she was raped by her mother's boyfriend. After she spoke out against him, he was beaten to death by a mob. Young Marguerite blamed herself.
I was 7.5, and my 7.5-year-old logic deduced that my voice had killed him. So I stopped speaking for almost 6 years.
And it was during those years of silence that she discovered poetry and her love of art.
And somehow I'm able to get down inside myself, deep where a poem may live, and find out what it has to say.
Her poetry was first physical, winning a dance and drama scholarship in San Francisco, then later touring Europe in 1954 in Porgy and Bess. But her growing love for the written word took her to Egypt and Ghana, where she became a newspaper editor. In Ghana, she met Malcolm X and returned to the U.S. in 1964 to join his fight in the civil rights movement. After Malcolm X's assassination, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. asked her to join him. He was killed on her birthday, 1968. The following year, her first memoir was published, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. More bestsellers would follow.
I want to write so well that a person is 30 or 40 pages in a book of mine before she realizes she's reading.
Her books detailed personal struggles, like having a baby as an unwed teenager. That son later became novelist Guy Johnson.
Cut.
Blazing trails on the big and small screens, she directed documentaries. Her screenplay for 1972's Georgia, Georgia was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. And in 1977, she appeared in the landmark TV adaptation of Alex Haley's Roots.
And grow as tall as a tree, and I will still be your grandmother.
Maya Angelou was nominated for a Tony Award. She won 3 Grammys, and in 2011, President Barack Obama presented her with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Former President Bill Clinton awarded her the Presidential Medal of Arts in 2000. Years earlier, at his request, she had written a poem for his inauguration.
Here, on the pulse of this new day, you may have the grace to look up and out and into your sister's eyes.
She called herself Maya, which was her brother's nickname for her. Angelou came from her first husband's name, Tosh Angelos.
It is a long journey. It's a sweet one, bittersweet. I'm very blessed.
She had created her own name just as she had created poetry from pieces of herself.
Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, naturally, there I go rising.
Yo, what's up, world? It's your boy Phil Cole here. And of course, as you all know, the legendary author, Maya Angelou, has died. But I'm sadly enough, in this video, I'm not going to speak too much about her. I'm going to speak a little bit more about what's happened since she has died. And what has happened is, a lot of young people are confusing her with other people. Especially with Rosa Parks. Like, you can find on Twitter and stuff, girls saying things like, rest in peace, Maya Angelou, you know, if you didn't sit down on a bus, you know, maybe as of today we wouldn't be able to sit down wherever we want. And other sort of misleading tweets or confusing ass tweets where they're confusing her with someone else. And I just want to speak about the education of our young people. Now, first of all, I've always heard a lot of people say the education that we get in public school is, they say, you know, it's white education. Of course, it's a European education. When I say it's a European education, I mean it's based on what the European Americans want you to learn. Basically, that's what it's based on. So they are way more likely to teach you about Martin Luther King rather than they're likely to teach you about Malcolm X. You know, if it was like a black-owned public school, like they own the system, you're likely to learn about both equally. But no, we learned a whole lot more about Dr. Martin Luther King than Malcolm X. So why? Because Dr. Martin Luther King was nonviolent and Malcolm X was like, get your gun. You know what I mean? So they much rather teach us the Martin Luther King version of it. But other than that, I'm not even going to front. The most I know about Maya Angelou, and I'm 28, is from popular culture. I saw her in the Boondocks. I remember her there, where the two white dudes kidnapped her instead of kidnapping Opra. You know, they kidnapped her, and she was beating them up and stuff in the car, and they threw her out. Also from the TV show The PJs. I don't know if you guys ever saw The PJs, but there was an episode where where Thurgood buys the old lady, and he buys the old lady an audio cookbook recipe. He's like, look, I got you an audio cookbook recipe about making muffins. And then they're listening to it, and you hear her saying, put the dough in the oven, and 10 minutes later, I rise. So, you know, I hear a lot about her. I've heard a lot about her in popular culture rather than in school. Now, of course, I know who she's not. Like, some people even confuse her with Harriet Tubman. Some girls like, thank you for helping us free the slaves. With Harriet Tubman. Now, where does the blame go in a situation like this? When they're confusing her with Opra, Harriet Tubman, who do we blame for this? Or do we blame anybody? Or maybe it's our fault as, well, I'm not a parent, but maybe it's our fault as parents because we don't try to, especially as black people, we don't try to teach them about the biggest figures in the African American community, because I guarantee you, the average young person knows a whole lot more about Nicki Minaj than Maya Angelou. But is that wrong? Let me explain something to you about popular culture. We all study popular culture because we all see it, we all hear it. What you guys need to understand about popular culture, especially with young people, is young people go towards what attracts them. So it's like, for example, I got to make a video about this, but there was a video where you have little white kids looking at a bunch of faces. It's like a white face, a kind of white face, a yellow face, a brown face, and a black face. Like, which face looks happy? And they're like, the white face. Well, it's more attractive when it comes to the eye. It's more attractive to the eye. On the black face, you can't even see eyes and lips. It's not the same exact thing as the human face. When it comes to those faces, the white face is more attractive. It has more light. It grabs attention first. So if there's 3 girls outside, you see a blonde, you see a brunette, and you see a girl with jet black hair, your eyes are likely to look at the blonde girl first because it grabs more attention. Just like in the jungle. If there's a tiger, he's about to have a meal. He's hungry. And there's different cattle outside. There's a white one, a brown one, and a black one. The white one is way more likely to be seen first. And it's not that the white one's better, it's just that it grabs attention more. And that's basically how popular culture works. Nicki Minaj is way more colorful than Maya Angelou will ever be. But at the same time, we have to find a way to make it cool for our people to know about these people, especially our young people, because that is very, very important. When I say young, I mean, I guess, 25 and younger. 25 and younger, I guess that could be young. We have to find a way to make this attractive, to make Maya Angelou attractive. Well, just learning about her, make that attractive for our young people to want to know more about. How can we do it? Well, popular culture is a way. I mean, of course, when I saw that on the PJs, it made me laugh and it made me wonder a little bit about this book Maya Angelou wrote. And same thing on the Boondocks. It made me wonder a little bit about her. So if we can start in our popular culture, including them, that would be good. So like, who did a song? I think it was Outkast did a song about, even though she sued them or something, apparently, could be. They did a song about, I believe it was about or based on I forgot exactly who it was because I had listened to the song, but I remember they made it. It wasn't Harriet Tubman, it wasn't Maya Angelou. It was Rosa Parks. I believe they did a song entitled Rosa Parks or something, and she sued them. But other than that, that's an example. They could have did a rap song about Rosa Parks. It would have made kids a little naturally more interested in learning about Rosa Parks because of the song. You know, if 50 Cent, no, not 50 Cent, if A$AP Rocky comes out tomorrow with a song rapping about Malcolm X and all this stuff, people are much likely to look up Malcolm X. You're going to see Malcolm X fly up on Google Trends. And by the way, you can check me out on Google Trends. I'm still there, Philochko. You can see how my popularity goes. But yes, that is a way of spreading popular culture. That's a way of using our popular culture to spread positive black culture. Let's say that. Positive black culture. Our popular culture can spread positive black culture, but our popular culture isn't really too interested in this stuff. You know, it's about money, the car I have, the girls I have, blah, blah, blah. We all know this. So just in case you guys are interested, I don't know the hashtag of seeing all the stupid things young people have said about Maya Angelou, confusing her with, like I said, from Opra, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, and all this stuff. You can see all the tweets. It's embarrassing, but at the same time, if the educational system isn't teaching them properly about these positive black figures, what are we to do? Are we to do it ourselves as parents? Or should our black popular culture spread the black positive culture? So you let me know what you think. Your boy Philochko here, and I'm out. Later.